Finding the x-intercepts of a quadratic equation in vertex form. So this is the equation that we are going to find the x-intercepts. Y equals -1/2 bracket x minus 1 bracket to the power of 2 plus 2. First, let's graph the equation so we can visually see where the x-intercepts are. So I graphed this equation with where you can see the vertex is 1 and 2. It opens downward because the a value is negative and it has a vertical compression to a factor of 1/2. As you can see, our x-intercepts are -1 and 3. Now let me show you how to solve for them algebraically. X-intercepts, or zeros, are always found on the x-axis. Therefore, the y value of any x-intercept is 0. Because when you're on the x-axis, your height is 0. So, to find the x-intercepts, you substitute into the equation y equals 0. And the equation becomes 0 equals -1/2 bracket x minus 1 bracket to the power of 2 plus 2. Then, we begin to isolate for x using BEDMAS backwards. So the first thing we do is move the plus 2 to the left side of the equation. And it becomes -2. So then, -2, because -2 plus 0 is still -2, equals -1/2 bracket x minus 1 bracket to the power of 2. Next, we move over the -1/2. And it becomes -2 divided by -1/2 equals x minus 1 squared, which is the same thing as 4 equals bracket x minus 1 squared. So then we move the square root to the other side, which becomes, we move the power of 2 to the other side, which becomes the square root. So we take the square root of 4, and what's different about this square root is you have to take the plus or minus square root, because we don't know whether x is a positive or negative number, so we must find for both. So it looks like this: plus or minus the square root of 4 equals x minus 1. Lastly, we move the 1 to the other side of the equation so that it becomes 1 plus or minus the square root of 4 equals x. Square root of 4 is 2, so 1 plus or minus 2 equals x. Now we solve it both ways, with the plus and the minus. So, if we do plus first, 1 plus 2 equals x, therefore x equals 3. If we solve the other way, with the minus, 1 minus 2 equals x, therefore x equals -1. So, our x-intercepts, by plugging y value equals 0, are x equals 3 and -1. And if we look on our graph, these are our 2 points right here. So we got the same answer of x-intercepts by graphing the equation and by solving algebraically by substituting y equals 0. Our x-intercepts are -1 and 3. Try this one on your own. Y equals 2 bracket x plus 3 bracket to the power of 2 minus 4.